There we go. What's going on, guys? You guys are tuning into the Night Crew podcast. We shine a light on people, stories, and the realities that come alive in the dark. I'm your host, a night shift lifer, a private security vet, and an owner, and someone who has seen the industry from the inside. Tonight, we're on episode 14. Violence against homeless. Security's role in a hidden crisis. Let's go!
But this is where we belong. When the streets are empty and the city sleeps, we keep watch, we keep moving, we keep the lights on. Welcome to the Night Crew. Where the world slows down, but the stories never stop. Stay sharp, stay ready, and ride with us till dawn.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. You guys are tuned to the Night Crew podcast. Tonight, we're on episode 14. Violence against homeless. Security's role in a hidden crisis. And before we get into it, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. A new flavor of Ghost. Raspberry cream. Oh. I've been waiting to get my hands on this for like the last couple weeks. And I finally saw one in the store and I grabbed like 6 of them. And I pray to God they taste good because I haven't tried it yet. So remember, the pool. Yes. Wow. Wow. This is killer. Wow. 200 milligrams of caffeine. It's going to give you that focus. It's going to give you that, you want a 3 a.m. slump when you're feeling it. Pop one of these bad boys in. And you're going to survive the rest of your shift. One more time. Hold on.
In the city of Bakersfield, homicides are trending downward overall. However, one category is quietly rising. Killings among homeless individuals are on the rise, and investigators say that these types of cases are uniquely difficult. I'm Veronica Morley, your senior reporter, and in the next part of our Violence Crisis series, I'm speaking with police as well as those on the streets to better understand the ins and outs of this vulnerable community.
What's going on, guys? Tonight, we're tackling something that honestly doesn't sit well with me. I'm not feeling it. I don't feel good inside. When I don't feel good inside, I gotta talk about it. So we're talking about it. You guys may have seen a headline, overall homicides are declining in Bakersfield, all right? On the surface, sounds good. I love it. Less violence, fewer deaths. But then you dig a little bit deeper and you realize there's something more disturbing. Killing involving people experiencing homelessness are actually going up. So the city pats himself on the back and says, good job, BPD. Good job, city. Good job, law enforcement. Wow. Saying the crime is going down. Okay. While one of the most vulnerable groups in our community is having to pay the price. Now, let me tell you guys something, all right? It's very important that you guys hear this. A human life is a human life. Homelessness or not, young or old, rich or poor, everyone deserves protection. And when the most unprotected are becoming the biggest targets, we got to start talking and asking some big questions, big and tough questions. Not just as a community, not just as law enforcement, but especially in private security, in our sector. Because whether we like it or not, we're on the front lines of this reality every single night. I work private security. I see homeless. The reason why we're hired at most of these jobs is because of homelessness. So do I pay close attention to I would like to call them our external customer? Absolutely. And if they're suffering every single night on the streets, then I take a personal, I take it personal. Yeah, I do. Now let's talk about numbers. On paper, Bakersfield has seen violent crime drop. Okay. Homicides went from 26 in 2014 and 2024 to 9 in 2025. That's a 64.4% decrease. And the city leaders are quick to celebrate that. Yeah! His 60 scores! Whoa! We'll have a beer after that, buddy. But cases involving homeless victims went from 5 in 2023 to 8 in 2024, and that is a 60% increase in violent crimes against homelessness, or those experiencing homeless. And while the city says, hey, we're good, look at us, we're ignoring the fact that the homeless individuals are dying at a higher rate. The problem with statistics, hope I said it right, they can be manipulated to tell you whatever story you want. Okay, throw a couple numbers out there, and everyone says, that looks good to me. And you want to look like crime is down, right? Pull the total numbers. But you guys want the truth?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth!
Dig into the subgroups, okay? The truth is, our homeless community is in more danger today than they were a year ago. And I'm sorry, city of Bakersfield. I'm sorry, Bakersfield Police Department. But it's not, you guys, it's not, we can't be patting ourselves on the back here.
Ball is down. Illinois pulls it off. A huge upset.
Okay? That is not progress. It's a crisis. Something deeper going on. And why is this happening? Why is this even a conversation? Why am I even talking about this today? Why are homeless people, individuals, becoming bigger targets? And the answer, for those that work the private sector at night that have to deal with people, it's a straightforward answer. It's vulnerability. Okay? They don't have locked doors. They don't have alarm systems. They don't have cameras. They don't have fences. Most of them don't have private security to keep watch. Some are battling with mental health. Some are dealing with addiction. Some are just trying to survive day to day. And predators know it. Okay? Think about it. If you're a criminal looking for an easy target, are you going to go to a bank with armed guards? Not that bank have armed guards anymore. But the few that have armed guards. Are the criminals going to want to step in there and rob the bank knowing that there are armed security? Probably not. Or are you going to look for someone sleeping under a bridge who can't call for help? That is the ugly truth in society we live in today. The homeless are the most vulnerable population in Bakersfield, and it shows. You don't need statistic to see that. Just drive around at night, and you'll notice people camps and alleys and people sleeping behind businesses, and they're exposed to whoever wants to take advantage of that person at any time. And I believe this is where private security needs to step in to the conversation. I believe that private security should be a part of this conversation as it relates to the homeless, because we're always out there. And because here's what happens, okay? Businesses hire us to protect their properties at night, right? Apartment complexes, shopping centers, construction sites, and that's fine. That's our job. But what happens when crime doesn't disappear? It just shifts. When you push gangs out of a neighborhood or you start to hammer down on robberies and businesses, the violence don't vanish. It doesn't just stop. They find other ways they find the next vulnerable target. What's the next best thing that we can get away with? And unfortunately, it's usually often the unhoused community. Now, I'm not saying private security companies is going to solve homelessness, okay? We're not going to solve this global epidemic. What I'm saying is we can't keep pretending like this isn't a part of a security picture. If 1/3 of homicides involve homeless victims, that tells me we're failing to protect people who need it most. And while law enforcement resources a lot of times are stretched thin, private security could be a part of that solution. Private security is always the one that fills the gaps. And I wish people would just take our job just a little bit more serious. Okay? Imagine security patrols that don't just watch buildings, but actively provide visibility in areas where homeless individuals gather. We're not there to criminalize them, but to deter the predators, to see them as an easy prey. Why not use the same visibility in public spaces where the vulnerable are being targeted? Okay, I tell this to people. So homeless people are part of sensitive groups, just like people that are over 55 are a part of a sensitive group. Okay, we have to protect our elderly. We have to protect our children. Why can we not protect the homeless? And I can tell you guys right now, just having a marked vehicle roll through or a uniformed officer walking up and down a block makes people think twice before committing a crime. Okay, I mean, if they're dressed properly and they got a nice patrol car, not driving around in a little terrorist Camry. I'm just kidding. And that kind of deterrence can save lives. Okay, I mean, I pull up all the time on people, and everyone they put their drugs away. They're like, "Oh my god, oh shoot, oh, yeah. How's it going, officer? Hey, what you guys doing over there?" And let me give you guys an example. You know, and a lot of you guys who know me, I do advocate a lot for the homeless. I consider the homeless a part of our they're our external customer in the private sector. And I've also experienced homelessness before. I think I've mentioned this, I don't know how many countless times. So it does, you know, it's a very sensitive subject for me when it relates to homeless people, because those are people that are vulnerable. And that's the part that where I really feel like we could step in the private sector. And I've came across in all my years of security, I've came across homeless individuals sleeping behind shopping centers. We used to do a lot of vacant buildings, catch them in vacant buildings, and sometimes not really bothering anyone, just trying to get some sleep. Okay, I've came across situations where they were clearly unsafe. Maybe they're intoxicated. They're high on fentanyl. We're maybe vulnerable, for someone taking advantage of them. A lot of you guys know that we had a lot of vacant properties downtown Bakersfield, and downtown Bakersfield has a large transient traffic as it relates to homelessness. And so one night, you know, we're on a property, we do 2 patrols a night, and one night I decided to do an extra patrol because I got bored. And so that last patrol I went to, there was a lady that was passed out behind the building. Literally, it's dark, pitch dark. There's no lighting because it's a vacant building. There's no lighting outside. And she's passed out. I'm waking her up. I'm like, "Hey, you're okay. Hey, you're okay." She wasn't responding. But she's heavy breathing, gargling. So I assumed that she was under the influence of fentanyl, given the signs. And so I went back to my patrol vehicle. I had some Narcan. I gave her a Narcan. She woke up, punched me in the face, and then like went back to sleep. And so I was like, well, shoot, man. And I only had one. And so I called a medical emergency and I said, hey, EMS. I said, hey, there's a lady. She's behind the building. She's unresponsive. I gave her Narcan, but she didn't she slightly responded to it, but fell back asleep. And so they came over there. They gave her some of their higher dose of Narcan, and she woke up. Obviously, usually when when you wake up suddenly like that and you go from high to completely sober, it's a very, very it's an experience. I can't tell you what the experience feels like, but based on how I got punched, I'm like, hey, I want to be high. But when I saw her, I took inventory of her, what she was wearing, and because I could tell what side of town they live on. If they live on the east side, if they live downtown, if they live on a certain part of town, and I knew that she was not part of this side of town. So because she was not that she was not living on this side of town, she was more in danger because she has no friends in the area. And she had jewelry on, gold jewelry. She had a nice shoe. She had nice clothes, and 1,000,001 things could have happened to her had I not been there. And I'm not trying to say I'm going to pat myself on the back for this one, but these are the type of examples I'm saying that private security can be impactful and prevent crimes against people that are experiencing homelessness and addiction. We can assist in this and prevent further crime from happening. Okay? I can't stop someone from doing drugs. I can't stop someone from drinking, but I can preserve life. At least help. Okay? And in another example, I was checking another vacant building we were doing. And there's a locked door. And I opened it, and there's like a young dude, like he's like had to be like his 20s. And I'm assuming that he was just trying to sleep, or maybe he got kicked out of his house, maybe his parents, maybe he didn't see eye to eye, he didn't see any drugs, didn't smell like alcohol, he just had a blanket and a pillow. And technically, obviously he wasn't supposed to be there because we're the security. And had I not found him, who else would have? And that's another situation where had I not found him, who else would have done something to take advantage of him for whatever reason? Okay. Someone could have robbed him. They could have attacked him. And that's the kind of reality that we're dealing with in this day and age. Vulnerable people left in vulnerable spaces, and predators wait a chance to take advantage of them. Now, let's come back to the numbers, right, for a second. Nearly 1/3 of Bakersfield's homicides in 2024 involved homeless victims. Okay, 1 in 3. That's not just a category of crime, it's a massive red flag, and yet the headline doesn't read homeless at greater risk of murder. No, it reads overall homicides declining. And that's how you spin someone's misfortune into a success story. Okay, let's just say overall homicides declining. But something in that context bothers me. Why don't we ever mention when a killer was on drugs or a killer was drunk? Why don't we separate that into its own category? Because let's be real, people under the influence make reckless, violent decisions that sober minds don't or wouldn't. I can't say don't, but they wouldn't normally. If intoxication is a contributing factor in a killing, that should matter. We're quick to categorize gang-related murders or financially motivated murders, but we never isolate the ones tied directly to substance abuse. Why not? Because if we did, we'd see just how much drugs and alcohol play a part in all this crime and all these tragedies. And maybe then we'd start talking honestly about the root cause of violence in the city. Got a little passionate. So what do you think about it? The categories we choose or don't choose tell a story. Okay, right about now, the story being told isn't the full picture. Success doesn't mean fewer deaths on paper. I'm sorry, Bakersfield, you cannot pat yourself on the back because you guys decided to categorize violent crimes. Success means fewer families grieving, fewer people being forgotten, fewer vulnerable targets being preyed on. That's success. That's a pat on the back. That's a high five. That's a sloosh slamming dunks. So, all in all, is my point. If we're serious about safety, then we can't ignore who's being left behind. Private security, law enforcement, city leaders, the community, we've all got to rethink our approach. We've proven in the private sector that we can protect properties, events, neighborhoods. Now it's time to think bigger. Who's protecting the people that don't have protection? Because if the answer is no one, then we're all failing. If we're going to put all this on Bakersfield Police Department, we're going to put this all on Open Door and Flood Ministries, then we're doing a disservice. You need all the help you can get. If we're having private security protect other things, why not have private security protect the sensitive groups, the homelessness, redirection, talking, trying to get them in some sort of housing, trying to get them in some sort of program, and educating our officers and educating people that there are more than just sleeping on the streets. But then at the end of the day, that's someone's reality, and some people choose to do that. We can't make people get into housing. We can't make people get into treatment. We can't say, oh, you're a crackhead, we gotta put you in a program. You can't force them into a program. But what we can do is allow them to live in peace, mentally disturbed, talking to themselves, doing flips in the middle of the street, whatever. But assist in preserving life. And I don't know how else to shape it. Okay? I love my industry, and I think it's time for the city. I think it's time for city leaders and the communities to put more faith in private security. Say, you know what, guess we're going to give these guys a try. If it doesn't work out, guess what? We lost a little bit of money, but now we can say, private security sucks. We're going to go with this route. Let me know what you guys think, okay? How can we reduce these numbers, okay? And if I can go back to the news, I don't like the title, the headline. I said it before in the beginning. I'm going to say it again. Homeless homicides rise in Bakersfield. Overall killings decline. I don't like it. Veronica Moley, whatever your name is, I don't like it. Change it. And that's great that BPD, Bakersfield Police Department, is looking into this. Great. Let's be your partner. Find new partners, because while these sergeants and all these ones that climbed the ladder over the years, they're all at home hanging out, having a good old time. We're stuck in the damn cold. We're stuck in the heat. We're stuck at night working. We don't have the luxury of staying at home at night. All right, guys. I'm all out of time. If you guys like this podcast, like, share, subscribe, whatever. I don't care. I mean, please. I don't really like it. But give me your insights. Give me your thoughts. What do you think about this? Can private security be help? And don't think of Allied. Please leave them alone. Don't even look at them. Go like this. If you see Allied in the corner, just don't think of Allied. Don't think of Allied in the picture. Just think of, or Transwest, think of actual private security, physical private security that can actually make a huge difference. For the nights are dark, full of terror.
This has been the Night Crew.
Stay sharp. Stay safe. I'll catch you on the next shift.